Did you know that it is impossible to achieve your goals without establishing discipline in your thinking first? Because if you don't, the thoughts in your head are going to sabotage your efforts and sway you away from your intentions, leaving a bitter aftertaste and the feeling of failure soon after. You are listening to the Confidence in Trading podcast. I am your host, Agnieszka Wood, a trading mindset coach and a seasoned day trader with over a decade of experience. In this podcast, we explore the fascinating world of psychology and the human element of trading. We take a deep dive into different perspectives to inspire you and help you navigate the emotional ups and downs of trading with self compassion and confidence. Whether you are just starting out or you are a seasoned pro, this podcast is your trusted companion providing support on your trading journey. Get ready to boost your confidence and unlock the secrets to mastering your mindset for success. Welcome to episode number 23, Mental Habits for a Disciplined Trader. Today I want to talk about change. Because if you want to achieve your goals in life, any kind of goals, you will need to go through a change process. And that requires discipline. Nobody likes changes. And to be frank, not many people like discipline either. But the reason why people don't like changes is because it is often associated with something unknown, a situation that feels unfamiliar to you, and you simply are not sure what you can expect. And for many people, that causes anxiety and fear. So if you have to go through changes in order to achieve what you want, it might feel as sort of a torture because you are basically pushing yourself to do something you do not want to do. Does this always feel like that? Well, most people are approaching changes from a behavior level and try just to simply force themselves into a rigorous routine, some sort of new behavior that they are trying to learn, and that is out of their established way of living, out of their usual pattern, let's say, the pattern and the routine they know and that their body and their brain are familiar with. So naturally, they encounter resistance. And that's exactly where the struggle begins. And unless you have a strong mind and you are already very disciplined, this is going to challenge you on all levels. And logically, you are going to resist it because this is a sort of a forcing change and it simply goes against your way. And if you manage to push yourself and to push yourself into this new routine, new discipline, it might work for a while, but sooner or later, you either get sick and tired of the hard work or simply find a myriad of reasons why your goal is not that important or simply not worth to go through all that effort to achieve it. So the question is, do you really need to change in order to achieve your goals? Most of the time, when you have goals, they are meant to achieve different results than you are achieving right now. And even if you are happy with the current results, usually if you set some goals, it is to improve something, which means that you are trying to change something in your results. So, yes, in order to achieve your goals, you need to go through the change process. And even if you do not realize that, the change starts in your head because that's also where your goals are being born. How does it work with trading? Because if you are trying to achieve good results and consistency with it, you probably have heard that in order to be consistent in something, you have to repeat the same thing over and over again. And here is the challenge. Most traders, they are stuck in a failing cycle because they repeat the same things. However, they repeat the things that do not work. And everything you do starts in your head. So before you can change your behavior, you have to change the way you think. We have a lot of thoughts all the time, right? About 70,000 thoughts a day. That's quite a lot to manage. And most of those thoughts you are not even conscious of. Those thoughts are repetitive and they are defining how you behave. If you want to change something in your results, you will have to change your behavior. And since your behavior is orchestrated by your thoughts, that is really reminding us about the importance of your thoughts and how they shape your life because they become your actions. And discipline in the process of changing your thoughts is absolutely key. And not many traders take that into account, that the whole mental part of trading, it's not just really dealing with your emotions or trying to control your emotions. It's really about getting control over your thoughts, getting in the lead of your thoughts so that you can direct your thoughts in the way that will support how you want to behave. And yes, emotional control is absolutely crucial to trading. However, your emotional control is cultivated within the realm of your thoughts because the way you think makes you feel a certain way, and then that feeling fuels more thoughts, and that fuels again your behavior. Your self-talk, your way of thinking, your mental habits, your thinking habits are absolute cornerstone of your trading mindset. And mastering your self-talk should be your top priority as a trader. So I encourage you to pay close attention to how you talk to yourself, and not just during trading, but just simply during the day. Anytime that you are talking to yourself, you are sending signals to your body and to your brain to execute certain command. So you keep programming yourself. So depending on what thoughts you have and what stories you will be constructing from them, they will influence how you will feel about yourself, how you will feel and think about your performance, and about what you are capable to achieve. Becoming disciplined in your thinking is really about focusing on those thoughts that are supporting your mission, that are supporting your goals, that are in line with your intentions. So let's say you are beginning your trading day, right? And maybe you haven't really prepared yourself in the morning. You haven't reset from a previous day. And there are some thoughts popping in your head telling you about the losses from a previous day, or maybe about the great trade you had and made a lot of money. And depending on your ability to handle those thoughts and how much momentum you give it. So, how much attention you will give it and way you spin it, because you can start the whole dialogue with yourself. For example, if you had a great trade yesterday, you might be already getting excited about another great trade, right? And it kind of get biased that you are a great trader and you did so fantastic yesterday, so today will be a great day as well. And you might be filtering out certain signals from the market, completely not see them, and end up losing. And those stories are very easy to make. We are simply talking to ourselves all the time. And if you do not take a moment before the market opens, or before you start your day to quiet down, to make sure that you start the day with a clean slate, to become aware of your hopes, your expectations, maybe of your fears, you have the awareness and you take a moment and to look what is happening in your head, you will notice that there's a lot of stories going on. And not all of them, and I would say most of them, they are not really very productive. A lot of them are just not true. We tell ourselves the stories to make ourselves feel good and to prove ourselves right, especially about the things that we believe. Not many people like to be wrong, right? It requires the ability to look at yourself with a critical eye and say, okay, I was wrong. I can admit that I was wrong and made a mistake. But in your thoughts, it's almost like you have those two people on one on each shoulder, and one is the one that talks you into things that are not good for you, and then the other is like, like the devil and angel, and they have this discussion. And you will be protecting yourself from pain. You'll be protecting yourself from taking a loss. You will be protecting yourself um, from failing. People have two fears. We either are afraid to lose something we have, or we are afraid that we will not get something that we want. And that connects very closely with our feeling of self worth, with being afraid of proving to ourselves that we are a failure. The greatest source of our suffering are the lies we tell ourselves. We can make stories, and the more creative you are, the better stories you can make. And a lot of times, when we tell ourselves lies, we even believe them. So, if you want to be a disciplined trader, and with disciplined trader, I mean a trader that follows the plan and acts always in his best and always acts in his best interest. As a trader, you do not have a control over the market. You do not have control over other traders or the price. There is a lot of unknown, right? So you are already in unfamiliar situation pretty much all the time because you never know what to expect. So the only thing that you can really focus on controlling is you, right? And now knowing that the only way to control your behavior or your emotions is by controlling your thoughts, by becoming a leader of your mental process, that's how you can start building more trust, how you can start building more confidence. And that's also how you can become a little bit more compassionate for yourself, because you will start noticing when you become aware of all the patterns that you have going on at the background, you will become much more compassionate for yourself and see, okay, it's not just me being stupid or not being enough, or, I am just not made for success. And you will see that the reason why things are not always working out for you, why you are repeating a certain behavior that is not in your interest, is not because you simply want to hurt yourself, but because you have those mental habits that are working against you. And the first step is to become aware of it. And in order to become aware of your thinking habits, you just have to simply become aware of your thinking. And a lot of times we identify ourselves with how we think. But thinking is a process of your mind, just like your heartbeat is a process of your heart. And there's more to you than just those processes. So, becoming aware of your thinking happens by basically thinking about your thinking. So, start observing it. Developing awareness happens by giving it attention without any judgment. So if you just sit down and take away all the distractions that usually pull you away from your thoughts and give full attention to what is coming in, try to see the thoughts as passing clouds. You will start noticing that, first of all, there's a lot of thoughts that are repetitive, but then you will also start seeing how the stories are being built. So it's almost like watching a sort of a movie. You just sit there and observe how the flow of the thoughts happens. And you will notice that when you do that, there will be some emotions coming up, because the thoughts will, sometimes bring something from the past, or they will connect to the future. So there will be some emotions coming. It could be anxiety, it could be fear, could be simply excitement or joy, all kinds of emotions. Try to just take a note of it and not act on it, because the whole acting, that's exactly what the impulsive behavior is, where you think something, you feel something, and then you act. What we want to achieve here is to become aware and then let it go. So just let it be. Put yourself in the position of observer, like almost a scientist, and this is an experiment. When you start doing that more often, and more often, I mean, you can do it every day, you can do it a few times a week. The important thing is that at some point you will be able to disconnect yourself from your thinking, so that you will see it as something that is happening in your head and not something that you necessarily have to follow. There's a lot of thoughts that are based on your previous experience, and they are talking about the past. If you keep acting on those thoughts, you will be reacting the past. So when you build that awareness and start listening to what your head is saying, you can start recognizing it more and more often. And at some point, you will notice what emotions get triggered by those thoughts, by those patterns of thoughts, and then what behavior that triggers. So when you start breaking this down and seeing yourself as someone who is observing it, you will be able to be ahead of it, or ahead of the behavior, just at the very first moment when you start seeing that very first thought, that impulse thought that starts the domino effect. If you would like to start somewhere to build your mental habits, I would like to suggest that you will start with building awareness and start filtering out your unproductive thoughts. And with unproductive thoughts, I mean thoughts that you know are not making you feel good about yourself. What you need are words that you could hear from your best friend, from someone who is your coach, who is motivating you, who is helping you build your confidence. This kind of internal dialogue is what you need. And someone who is brutally honest with you. Because the worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. So when you become aware of those unproductive thoughts, the thoughts that you notice, okay, they don't serve me because they don't make me feel good about myself, they don't empower me, they simply limit me, because the results that I'm getting after acting on them are not the results that I want. So I wanted to give you a very simple tool that you can use, and the tool will help you to align your internal dialogue, your self talk, with your trading goals and your personal growth. And for that, I would like to use the acronym THINK, THINK, just from thinking. Easy to remember. You can use this acronym to help you filter out the thoughts that are unproductive. So the T stands for true. Whatever you tell yourself, is it true? Is it true, or are you telling yourself a lie? Are you trying to hide something, or are you trying to make yourself feel a little bit better? Maybe there is something, that you are ashamed of, and you're just trying to give yourself a little bit pat on your back and make you feel yourself a little bit better. If you stick to facts, not assumptions, it will be very easy for you to um to say, okay, is this thought a truth, or am I just assuming it? And if you're not ready yet to admit it, at least admit to yourself that you are not ready. So if you are brutally honest with yourself, it will be easier to simply get rid of the thoughts that aren't based on truth. H stands for helpful. Are your thoughts helping you? Are they making you feel the way that you want to feel? Are they trying to convince you to do something that you actually don't want to do? You have some behavior that you are trying to change. Is this thought talking to you the way that you know it's in your interest, or is it trying to sway you away from certain promise you made to yourself? Do they contribute positively to your decisions? Maybe you are in a trade and you promise yourself to wait till the target. And now in your head, there's this whole dialogue about how much money you already made and what if you are going to lose it and that you better take profit. Maybe some old cliches are coming in. Nobody got poor from taking profit. You know, just ask yourself, is this thought helpful? And you can really say it. Hey, just stop it. You are not helping me. And then let go of the thought that is not serving your best interest. I stands for inspiring. You will feel it. You will feel if the thought is inspiring you. If it causes a spark in your eyes, it will, maybe you will get some butterflies. Is the thought motivating you to stick to your plan or to break your rules? Is it motivating you to take positive action? Nurture the thoughts that fuel your passion, your determination, and your integrity. N stands for necessary. We have a lot of thoughts, and really not all of them are necessary. As I said, there's just a lot of repetitive, like about 95% of the thoughts are from yesterday. And a lot of thoughts we have thought already extensively about. And sometimes we even made a decision about something, and now this thought is coming back. Those thoughts are absolutely non essential. Try to ask yourself, is it really essential that I am going to be thinking about this right now? Because a lot of times a certain thought is going to only make you anxious, just like the thought I was just telling you about when you are in a trade and you have a plan, and suddenly this thought is popping up, completely questioning everything that you have decided so far. Is it necessary? Just like you would ask someone else, is it necessary to do this right now? Clear your mind from that unnecessary clutter. And K stands for kind. Be kind to yourself. Your thoughts must be compassionate and supportive. In order to achieve anything in life, you have to talk to yourself with love and kindness, with compassion, with feeling of, I really want to help you. I really believe in what you are doing and I have your back. I know it's not easy, but I believe in you. If your thoughts are fostering self doubt and criticism, those are probably just some remains from the past experiences, something that is, resembles old limiting beliefs or some limiting beliefs that you still have, but they are not serving you right now. So whether they're old or new, that doesn't matter how they came into your head. Know that when they are coming, you have the power to say no to them, but not by focusing on them and saying no to them. No, I don't want to self criticize. I don't want to feel that way. By focusing on the thoughts that you do want to think. So give attention to the thoughts that make you feel the way that you feel motivated, empowered, and confident that you can achieve what you want, that there is just simply no other way than succeed. And the discipline part of that is you have to do it over and over again until those new thoughts become your new habit. So choose kindness because it will build confidence and resilience. And I invite you to apply this think framework to your internal dialogue because I know that it will enhance your trading mindset and it will help you to develop those skills of discipline and integrity. And I cannot stress enough the impact of it, not just in trading, but also in your daily life. I hope this episode inspired you to look inside your head, and start building the awareness and realizing that you are not your thoughts and that you can get in the lead so that you can direct your life towards where you want to go. Thank you for listening to the Confidence in Trading podcast. If you are enjoying my show, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and share it with your fellow traders. If you are new to my show, don't forget to subscribe so you can come back for the next episode. And remember to visit my website, aheadcoach.com, and subscribe for the Trading Mindset Mastery tips. So every Saturday, you can receive actionable tips to help you build the mindset required for successful trading. You get the first 3 months free and no credit card is required. Just visit aheadcoach.com and you will see it right there on the homepage. And next week, we have something really exciting coming up. We are launching Trading Mindset Mastery Journey 2.0. So stay tuned. Make sure you sign up for the tips so you can also get the information through email. And if you are not familiar with this coaching program, this is a fantastic way to start building awareness and looking into your beliefs, whether there is anything that is standing in your way to your goals, and changing them. Fantastic way to start building consistency in your trading and starting to change the direction of your journey towards your goals. If you are interested to know more, you will see it on my website, aheadcoach.com. Thank you again for tuning in. This is Agnieszka Wood from Ahead Coach. Bye for now.